Welcome. This video is on rounding of whole numbers. Rounding off to a given place value. Rounding off is the process of changing a number and expressing it to a certain accuracy. We will indicate accuracy by specifying a given place value. So this rounding off process, we do it all the time. For instance, let's say your rent is $893. We might round that off to the hundreds place and say, well, oh, my rent is $900. We don't have to say exactly what it is all the time. We might round it to get a general idea of how much we pay per month to get a total of our expenses. Okay, so here's our procedure. When asked to round off to a certain place value, underline the digit occupying that place value. So if they're asking you to round to the tens place, we're just going to underline the tens place. Or if we're rounding to the hundreds place, then put a line underneath that hundreds place. Or if they're asking us to round to the thousands place, then put a line under the thousands place. Okay, then we're going to look at the digit to its right. If that digit is 5 or larger, add 1 to the underlined place value digit. So 5 or more, we're going to add 1 to the number you've underlined. If that digit is less than 5, so 4 or less, so 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, then leave the underlined place value digit alone. Don't subtract, we just leave it alone. So 5 or more we're going to add, but less than 5 we're going to leave it alone. Then we're going to rewrite all the digits to the right of the place value digit as zeros. So the last digit you're going to write that's not a 0 is the one you underlined. Okay, you might want to go back and write down all the notes if you didn't get that. It's good to write down the notes so that it gets into your memory the process of what we're doing. Round the following to the nearest 10. So 38. So we're going to underline the tens place because we're rounded the tens. So underline the tens place. And then we're going to look at the number to the right. That number is an 8. So since the digit to the right is 5 or more, add 1 to the tens place. So we're going to add a 1 to the 3. That's going to become a 4. So that's our answer, 40. The number after it becomes a 0. 752. Again, add 1, underline the tens place first. And then look at the number to the right. Well, that number is a 2. Since the digit to the right is less than 5, it's a 2, then we're going to leave the tens value digit alone. And then everything after it becomes a 0. So what's the answer? 750. You can think of it as you only have $10 bills, and you want to get as close to 752, either over or under 752, but as close as we can to 752. So our answer would be 750. Okay, now we're going to round these to the nearest 100. Okay. Underline the hundreds place, which is an 8. Look at the digit to the right. What number is to the right of the 8? The 2. Since the digit to the right is less than 5, leave the 100 digit alone. Should have wrote hundreds. Leave the hundreds digit alone. So it's going to be 4, 8, and then 0, 0. Okay, 7,951. Again, first step is to underline the hundreds place. And then we're going to look to the right of it. Oh, since it's 5 or larger, it's actually a 5. We will add 1 to the hundreds. So we're going to add 1 to 9, which becomes, well, 7. Think of it as 79 plus 1, which is 80. And then everything after it becomes 0, so that's why it's 8,000. So if you think about rounding to the nearest hundred, it's like you only have $100 bills. And you want to get as close to 7,951, either over or below. And so the closest would be 8,000. Okay, let's go to the next page. And now we're going to round these to the nearest thousand and million. Okay, again, step 1 is underline the thousands place. And then look at the digit to the right. 5 or more, we add 1 to the thousands. Less than 5, we leave the thousands the same. And then everything after the thousands place becomes 0. So since the digit to the right is more than 5, add 1 to the thousands. So you're going to add 1 to the 6 here. So what's the answer? 77,000. Okay, next problem. Underline the thousands place. Since the digit to the right is less than 5, it's a 4, we're going to leave the thousands digit alone. And then again, everything after the thousands becomes a 0. Okay, round the following to the nearest million. So find the millionth place, underline it, and then look at the digit to the right. So there's our millions place. Look at the number to the right. Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. Since the digit to the right is more than 5, add 1 to the millions digit. So we're going to add 1 to this 5, and then everything after it becomes a 0. 6 million. Last one. Find the millions place. Underline it. Look at the digit to the right. It's less than 5. It's only a 4. So we're going to leave the millions digit alone. And then everything after it will become 0. 83 million. Okay, that was the last slide, and I'll see you here for our next video.